Hello guys, and welcome to the first episode of Let's Bring Them to the Tabletop. Today we're going to be sculpting Stolas from Helluva Boss, with the end goal of creating a model that we can very easily print and paint, and then have the character show up in your game and cause all kinds of havoc. So the way this series is going to work, as the name suggests, I'll be taking a beloved character, sculpting a 32mm scale tabletop model, and then printing it and painting it so that you can see what the end result will be, and then you can think to yourself, oh, I quite like, this particular character on my table. So I started with Stolas because, again, it's one of the characters that I think actually would work really well in most settings. Like, you've got this, eminently powerful demon from hell, who's a bit nicer than most, who's just shown up because, well, I mean, if I was running the game, it'd probably be because his book's gone missing. That grimoire that he uses that they use to jump from the hell plane to the material plane, something like that. Now, Stolas is a very, 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 very skinny character, so I decided very early on that the sculpt itself is going to be primarily supported by the cloak he has across his back. So most of the weight of the character is supported by that, making it a lot more stable and, not going to snap on those really thin legs. I did make the legs a bit thicker by comparison to the original artwork, but not so much it's that noticeable at tabletop scale. Now, this is the bit I really enjoy, the taking the model, breaking the symmetry, and actually getting to pose the model for the finished look. When I sculpt, I always try to I very rarely actually merge anything together. I tend to find that if you make sure that everything is still in separate subtools, it makes things a lot easier when you come to repose everything, because you're not having to muck around with masking off certain areas or trying to create a nice masked gradient so that when you twist it, it twists like a body should. It just, you're moving the blocks around, and then once all the blocks are in the right place, you go back in and you resculpt what needs resculpting. Like I say, this method has served me very well for a very long time, and I, again, really quite enjoy it. And here you see briefly Sir Scales a lot, a freebie from Hero Forge back in the day. I use him basically just to scale all of my models to 32mm scale. Now, obviously, Stolas is quite a tall character by comparison to normal human scale, hence why he's that much larger than the character you just saw. So with the model finished, we drop it into Lychee to pre-support. And for those of you interested, I'm using a Uniformation GK2 and some high definition resin from 3DJ. So here we are with the finished print. As you can see, I'm very new to recording myself doing this kind of thing. So you'll see the camera kind of zoom in and out and lose focus and move all over the show. Again, I'm still in the process of learning. And really, that goes doubly for the painting going forwards. I am not a good painter yet. The way I see doing these videos going forwards, they're not tutorials as such. They're more just recordings of me throwing some paint around on the models that I produce, just so that instead of them being, you know, another one to add to my pile of grey shame, there's actually some colour there. Which, honestly, I think is something that a lot of people tend to have a problem with, where they think, oh, you know, I'm not a good painter, I don't want to ruin this model, and so I'll just, you know, I'll leave it grey or unpainted. But really, you just gotta throw some paint on there, man. You've just gotta start painting. It's the only way you're going to get good at it. And, well, this is me really starting. This is me starting to learn. I have watched far too many YouTube tutorials on how to paint, and there are quite a number of models hanging around my office that I've painted that are never going to see the light of day because, quite frankly, they're appalling. But, hey, you know... we get better with practice. So my painting technique goes like this. Take a model, prime it in like a dark grey, then dry brush to kind of highlight the edges, and then go in with the contrast paint. Just throw that on there liberally, just so that I now have some rough idea of where I'm going to paint and what the colours should be. I use that basically to show the lights and the darks of where I'm going to paint, and then go in with, you know, standard pigments, and then just try and bring up the highs and drop back the dark colours and all the rest of it. I believe the method is called the slap chop or something similar. And yeah, you can see me struggling to paint the eyelids here, which, you know, I've got a bit of a shape. But hey, the end result, to be perfectly honest, actually doesn't look too bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a display model by any stretch of the imagination, but if he brought it to the table, no one's going to complain. No one's going to complain about it. And if they do, well, you know, they're just that kind of person. So, yeah, there we are. Stolas, ready to... grace your tabletop RPG. I will be doing more of these in the future, not just from the Has Been Hotel series or Helluva Boss. I will be doing other characters and just creating models that you can very easily print and then bring these characters to your tabletop game. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this short video, and like I say, hopefully you'll see more soon. Also, any feedback that you guys can give me would be much appreciated. Anyway, hope you have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.